ALIZHAN Muratov is one of the most special arm wrestlers out there, and people enjoy watching him every single time he steps up to the arm wrestling table. You all asked for this video, so today I will show you some of the exercises I have seen ALIZHAN doing. I will tell you what they are good for, and I will also show you some similar variations that you can add to your training. Let's get straight into it, and the first exercise is the classic easy bar bicep curls. Strong biceps help you in two different ways on the table. First, your ability to stop the matches and your defensive strength will increase drastically. Second, as a byproduct of bicep training, your side pressure will get stronger. You can perform this exercise from standing, sitting down, or at a squat bench. I would recommend you to do it from standing, because it is the most practical variation when you get to the heavy weights. By far the most important aspect of this lift is to do the reps as clean as possible. Do not swing the weight, because you will not target your bicep in the most effective way. If you struggle to keep your form clean, you can do it with your back against the wall, which forces you to keep your form strict and to activate your bicep in the most effective way. A similar exercise you can do is bicep curls on the table. This one transfers even better to arm wrestling. Make sure you have at least a 90-degree angle between your forearm and the handle before you start lifting the weight. As an alternative, if you don't have a table, you could train your bicep at the power rack. Set up your power rack as shown in the video, lower the weight until your forearm is parallel to the floor and curl the weight up. All these exercises are great and they will make you a stronger arm wrestler. You just have to try them out and see which one fits your needs the best. Let's continue with pronation combined with back pressure. In my opinion, the pronation is by far the most important weapon in arm wrestling. It doesn't matter what style you use on the table. You are a much more dangerous arm wrestler if you have a strong pronation. This exercise ALIZHAN is doing is a very good one, and if you train it right, you will target your pronation very efficiently. Start with your pronation completely opened up. Perform your regular hammer curl and pronate your hand through at the same time. If you want to see great results from this exercise, make sure you do it clean and controlled. Otherwise, you won't target your pronation properly. A similar variation I like to do is to perform it directly on the table. The big difference is that your elbow is fixed and you simulate what you'll do in an arm wrestling match even more accurately. You could also train this exercise by grabbing the belt over your thumb. Or if you want to prepare yourself to counter a strong hooker, you can grab the belt over your forearm. Keep in mind that the variation that ALIZHAN is doing is by far the hardest one, because the belt is at its highest point possible, and usually the higher the position of the belt, the harder the exercise becomes. All these exercises are really great and they teach you one basic thing, and that is to activate your pronation together with your back pressure. Let's move on to one of the most important arm wrestling exercises, and that is pull-ups. If I could pick only one exercise for arm wrestling, it would be pull-ups. Pull-ups are great and can even be considered a compound move for the sport of arm wrestling, because you will train your back, brachioradialis, wrist and fingers all at the same time. On top of that, it is the exercise with the biggest carry over to the table, and you will see incredible results after you start doing it regularly. It is for sure one of the exercises ALIZHAN does frequently. You can use 3 different grips to do your pull-ups: under grip, parallel and over grip. For arm wrestling, the most effective one is the parallel grip, because it simulates exactly the position you have on the table. On the other hand, if you want to target your bicep as effectively as possible, you will have to take a supinated grip. And the overhand grip is also a great variation, but it can be a little uncomfortable for some arm wrestlers. You can do full range of motion pull-ups or partial pull-ups. Partial pull-ups are the most effective ones for arm wrestling, because you strengthen exactly the angles that you will need on the table. Full range of motion pull-ups, on the other hand, are great for building general strength. I like to alternate between those two and to get stronger in both at the same time. I personally don't see any disadvantage for this exercise, and every one of you should include pull-ups to your training program, regardless of your style. By the way, all the equipment you see in this video is from Golden Grip, and with my code ALEX, you will get 10% off on any purchase you make at goldengrip.com. The link is down below. Very soon, 5 of you will get a chance to be coached directly by me completely for free. So if you're interested, stick around until the end of the video to find out more. Next exercise on the list is bicep curls from the side. Side pressure is the only arm wrestling vector that every one of you will have to use on the table. It doesn't matter what style you have. Sooner or later, you will have to go sideways, which means your side pressure must be strong. At the same time, for everyone who is constantly asking me how to train your side pressure just with dumbbells, this is the right exercise for you. ALIZHAN is well known for his incredible side pressure, and this is one of the exercises I've seen him doing regularly. Lay your body to the side and perform your regular bicep curls. By positioning yourself like this, you will target your bicep, elbow structures that are responsible for your side pressure, and even some internal rotation at the same time. When you do this exercise, you should feel the tension primarily in your bicep and in your forearm. In my opinion, there are better side pressure exercises you can do, but if you don't have any special equipment, this is a great option and you can expect good results from it. By the way, I did a video where I ranked the best and worst side pressure exercises. So if you haven't seen it, I'll put the link in the video description. The only big disadvantage is that it can become very uncomfortable for the body when training with very heavy weights because of the position you are in. Now we are moving to an exercise that most of you have seen ALIZHAN doing, and that is press at the pulley. Most of you have seen the video where ALIZHAN does over 100 kilo in this exercise. As a side note, this is not 215 kilo as it is written in the video. It is double pulley, so it is only half the weight. Don't believe everything you see on social media and think for yourself. There are 3 elements you have to include in your training to have a fully developed side pressure. First is side pressure pec to pec, which trains your ability to drag the elbow across the pad and win the center of the table. The second is internal rotation, which again helps you to win the center of the table. On top of that, if you are a hooker, it will also improve your ability to get into the hook. And the third side pressure element is down pressure, which is the ability to finish the matches. This exercise fits more in the third category, because it will improve your press and the ability to finish the matches. Set the pulley to a high position and press the weight down. Make sure your bicep is activated before you start pressing the weight. If you are not a presser, you will most probably never finish someone like this. So even though it is great to be versatile and to have different weapons in your arsenal, think if the exercises you are doing really fit your needs. The next one is one of the most basic arm wrestling exercises, and that is back pressure with a belt. Back pressure is another arm wrestling strength everyone should train. And at this point, you can already see that ALIZHAN does a lot of general strength exercises. There are a lot of different exercises out there to train your back pressure for arm wrestling. The 2 most popular exercises that I've seen ALIZHAN doing are the back pressure from the ground and dumbbell hammer curls. As with every other elbow flexor exercise in general, it is extremely important to do the reps as clean as possible. Another similar back pressure exercise that I can recommend you is the hammer curls at the power rack. I like this one the most because your elbow is fixed and you will simulate what you do on the table as accurately as possible. Of course, if you have a table and a pulley, you could perform this exercise on the table. For the table version, make sure you have a 90-degree angle between your forearm and the rope before you start lifting the weight. For the other variation, start with your forearm parallel to the floor and with your arm at a 90-degree angle. All these exercises work really great, so you can experiment and see which one feels most natural to you. And the last exercise on the list is finger curls at the pulley. I've seen countless videos from ALIZHAN where he does this exercise. Of course, maybe he only posts them to promote his own product. Even if that's true, it is still a great exercise you can do. Set the pulley to a high position and do your regular finger curls. When you choose the diameter of the handle, make sure it simulates the hands of your opponents as accurately as possible. Don't use handles that are too thick for your hands, because the risk of injury is very high. If you don't have a pulley and a table, you can do a similar fingers exercise in every commercial gym. And that is stick barbell lifts. All you need is a barbell and the normal gym power rack. Most gym barbells are not thick enough to target your wrist and fingers properly. and you can fix that by using fat grips. If you don't have fat grips, take a piece of an old towel, wrap it around the barbell a few times, and there you have your fat grip. You can train this movement using either one hand or both hands. When you do it with both hands, you will train them equally. If one of your hands is much stronger than the other, training both hands at the same time will even out some of the imbalances. This was a complete breakdown of some of the exercises that I've seen ALIZHAN doing. If you have any questions, write it down in the comment section below and tell me which of these exercises you are doing and how much they improved your performance. As I already mentioned, I will choose 5 of you to coach completely for free. All you have to do is to go down to the video description and fill out the application form. There is no catch, it is completely free, so make sure you don't miss this. With that being said, keep your eyes on this channel, great stuff is coming.